Hi guys, welcome back to my channel PMP with you. So we started discussing a video series on the new exam content outline. So we already covered two domains, that is domain 1 people and domain number 3 business environment. So people is 42% of your exam and business environment is 8% of your exam. So remaining 50%, that is process domain, which we are going to discuss today. So stay till the end of the video. I'm going to discuss all 17 tasks under this domain and also all the details under each task. To start off, let's start discussing the task in summary. Task number 1, that is execute project with the urgency required to deliver business value. Task number 2, manage communications. Task number 3, assess and manage risk. Task number 4, engage stakeholders. Task number 5, plan and manage budget and resources. Task number 6, plan and manage schedule. Task number 7, plan and manage quality of products or deliverables. Task number 8, plan and manage scope. Task number 9, integrate project planning activities. Task number 10, manage project changes. Task number 11, plan and manage procurements. Task number 12, manage project artifacts. Task number 13, determine appropriate project methodologies or methods and practices. Task number 14, establish project governance structure. Task number 15, manage project issues. Task number 16, ensure knowledge transfer for project community or project continuity. Task number 16, ensure knowledge transfer for project continuity. Task number 17, plan and manage project or phase closure transactions. So I'm reminding once again, it's not about remembering all these tasks word by word. It's everything to understand these tasks, what you require to do during the exam to let me remind you, it's not all about remembering all these tasks word by word. It's all about understanding whether you can manage when a situation occurs, going under each task, whether you can handle such situation. So in the exam, during your exam, what the PMP question paper asking you is whether you are able to handle such situations given a scenario. So make sure you go through all these tasks and understand each of them rather than remembering word by word. Remembering word by word will not help you in the exam, but understanding will definitely do. I will give you another tip. Read all these 17 tasks once. Second time, go one by one, trying to understand each task, what it means, and try to apply that particular tasks into a real-time situation and try to practice this in your head. And then for the third time, maybe much closer to your exam, go through these tasks once again. Just read out everything. And when you're reading out for the third time, it will embed in your head. And also what it does is it will help you to remember whatever the scenarios that you applied during your second reading. So that will definitely help you during your exam. So let's go through all the tasks. Task number 1, execute project with the urgency required to deliver business value. So this means basically, for example, you are batting in a baseball match, and when you are swinging your baseball bat, you need to make sure you swing at the correct time. Timing is everything. If you swing the bat just moment before the ball reaches your bat, it will be too early, and if you swing the bat just moment the ball passes you, it will be too late. So the perfect timing is very important, otherwise you will lose all the value in the business. So you need to make sure the business value is protected throughout the project. That is task number 1 in simple words. So try to go through it and try to apply into a real-time situation, then you understand it more in your context. So when you're going to the exam, you know it very well in and out. Whenever they create such situation to, regards to business value, you know how to answer that question then. Task number two is manage communications. So it all says communication is like 80 to 90% of your project work. So communication is very important and becomes very critical at many occasions during your project. So task number two is all about managing it. So you need to make sure you select the correct frequencies, the correct channel, the correct methods, and the correct level of detail when you're communicating with your stakeholders. So when it comes to communications, make sure a situation is created with communications. Make sure you understand these tasks, number two, and you answer accordingly. Task number three is all about assess and manage the risk. Determine the risk management options. You need to make sure that you have a plan on how to manage the risk. That's all about task number three, and you need to make sure you prioritize which risk should give a more weightage. That is, you need to categorize all your risk and you need to manage them accordingly. Then you will not be impacted, your project will not be impacted, hit hard on this risk from the outside world or maybe from the inside of the project itself. Task number four is engaging stakeholders. I know it's more towards the people domain, but in this under process, what they expect you to do is create the operational part of it. You need to make sure the analyzing stakeholders has happened correctly. The power interest grid is created, the influence impact grid is created, and you have categorized the stakeholders in a manner that they are treated in those categories fairly, and engage stakeholders by category. So you once you categorize them, you can get their engagement more proactively. And then the task number five is plan and manage budget and resources. So this is important, but in the real world, sometimes the budget aspect will not be handled by you. So if you are a project manager already practicing in the industry, you will not have much hands-on training on that. So this is something you need to look in the exam, since the exam is expecting you to handle the budget for your project. So make sure that you read all these and you understand the bullet points of each task. So when it comes to the exam, you will be on the exactly the PM shoes that PMI expect you to be. Task number six is plan and manage schedule. So we discussed in task number one, timing is very important. And this is where you prepare your timing. You break down your time in the project to create more value. So this is where you plan everything. Your schedule is created in this task number six. So you need to do all the estimations. You need to make sure you plan. You need to prepare the schedule based on some kind of a method and measure ongoing processes, and also modify whenever the change is required to be done. So you need to be more flexible when it comes to schedule to make sure that you accommodate enough time at whenever it's necessary. Task number seven, plan and manage quality of the product or deliverables. So quality matters when it comes to a project. The deliverables need to have the quality expected by the uh, end user. So you need to make sure you create the quality standard and recommend options, improvement based on the quality gaps. And you need to continually survey project deliverables for the quality. So quality is very important and quality is given more weightage during your project. And task number eight is plan and manage scope. Determine and prioritize the requirements, break down the scope. So you need to make sure you break down the scope so that is manageable. You can use a work breakdown structure or a backlog to do that, and monitor and validate the scope. You need to make sure you monitor whether the scope is followed properly, and also you need to validate it. Whenever a change occurs, you need to make sure you update that change and make sure it validates with your scope. Task number 9 is integrate project planning activities. So to do anything in a project, planning is crucial. So consolidate the project based plans and access consolidated project plans for dependencies, gaps, and continued business value. And you also need to analyze whatever the data you have collected during the project, and you also need to determine the critical information requirements. So that is part of your planning. And task number 10, that is manage project changes. So managing changes could be tricky at times. So you need to make sure you anticipate and embrace the need for a change. Sometimes change happens for good and sometimes change happens for bad. So you need to make sure you balance those two. So you need to embrace that change. Follow change management practices given in the PMI standard. So I have a video specifically for change management practices. Make sure you watch that to understand all the scenarios could occur during a situation. And next is determine a strategy to handle the change, and then execute change management strategy according to the method. So once again, make sure you watch that video I have created on chain that has helped many people, because I have covered all the situations, all the scenarios could occur during a situation given in the exam. So make sure you watch that video and never miss or never get these questions wrong with change management. And then task number 11 is plan and manage procurement. So once again, this is like the accounting or the billing part of it. Procurements, most of the scenarios in the real world, the PM does not handle procurement. So this is something you need to uh, get it into your head, because in the exam, once again, PMI expect you to be the PM to handle the procurement as well. So make sure you understand all the procurement aspect, or understand all the type of procurements, and understand how you're going to manage your supplies and contracts. Then task number 12, manage project artifacts. So you need to ask these W questions: what, when, where, who is expecting project artifacts. So you need to make sure you answer these questions. You ask these questions continuously and you answer these questions. So then only you meet these deadlines, you meet these quality, you meet, um, you basically you understand the customer, you understand the end user to deliver the best out of your project. And then number 13, determine appropriate project methodologies, methods, and practices. So this is very crucial. This is something that PM might test you during your exam, whether you are practicing the correct project management practices. So you need to assess the project needs, complexity, and magnitude, recommend project execution strategies, contracting, finance, recommend project methodology approaches. So this task number 13 could be very tricky during the exam. They will not give you a question sometimes directly, but indirectly they will test you under task number 13. So make sure you do practice the correct methods given in the PMI standard. Then number 14, establish project governance structure. So determine appropriate governance for the project. So this is all about you have a correct methods, thresholds, the path to follow, and you also need to have a defined escalation paths for your teammates to follow. So that is all about the governance, how you manage the project. So you set the standard before you start the project. Then number 15, manage project issues. So these are not risk, these are not changes, these are issues. Recognize when risks become an issue. So risk could be a positive or negative. When it comes to negative, it's an issue for your business, for your project. And attack the issue with the optimal action to achieve project success, and collaborate with relevant stakeholders on approach to resolve the issue. So you need to get your stakeholders engaged when the issue comes, because sometimes the expert knowledge which you don't have might have with another teammate, or maybe the end user can give you great insights of handling an issue. Task number 16, ensure knowledge transfer for your project continuity. So knowledge transfer is important. That is something we might test you in and out. So you need to make sure your project, your process, the way you handle the project is a ground for learning for others. So you need to make sure you document everything and you discuss with your team. Within the team, the responsibilities are delegated so they get matured during the project. And also you need to have a method of confirming the approach for knowledge transfer. You need to make sure a proper method that the knowledge transfer is happening within your project. Finally, the number 17, plan and manage a project or the closure transactions. So whenever you hand over a deliverable to your end user, it does not mean that's the end of the project. So you need to do certain things. These bullet points are mandatory. You need to determine the criteria to successfully close the project or the phase. So that is has to be predetermined during your planning process when this project will be closed. What is exit criteria, and then validate the readiness for a transition. So once the project is uh, close, you need to make sure you have a smooth transfer towards the operations. Business should go as usual, and then conclude activities. You need to create certain reports. You need to create the lessons on register. You need to close all the procurements. You can't have any procurements open once the project is closed. And the financials should be balanced and closed. And also resource should be released or resource should be handed over the remaining resources. So that's how you handle the task 17. Once again, closure is a small portion of the exam, but once again, it could appear anywhere during the exam. So you need to make sure that you understand all these concepts with closure. It's not when you hand over the project or when you hand over the deliverables to the customer. It happens where how you have determined previously in the planning stage to end the project. Okay, so that's all about the tasks, all 17 tasks under the processes domain. And if you have any questions, please comment below. I'll try to answer at my best. If I don't know anything, I'll definitely try my best to find or reach out to people who knows them and answer your questions. And also make sure you subscribe to my channel and share with your friends. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. All the best with your exams. We'll meet up with another video.